Imagine getting a new job in New York City, free housing, steady work. The only catch, everyone in the building wants you dead. Today, I'm recapping and reviewing the new 2026 horror comedy, They Will Kill You. We start with Asia and her little sister Maria looking in a department store window at a scene of dummies in a kitchen while they stand outside in the rain. At the gas station, Maria asks Asia if she can get some chocolates, but Asia tells her it's too expensive and they have to save for New York, where they're heading. Clearly running from something. And that something is a mysterious he who Maria worries is going to find them, but Asia assures her that they're safe. She shows her a big bird tattoo on her wrist and tells her that nobody is ever going to cage them again. And then Maria steals the chocolates anyway. But then she sees a man walk into the store and hides with Asia, telling her that he found them. This man searches for them, saying that things have been hard since their mom died, but they all have to stick together. While they're sneaking out, the girls set off the alarm because of the stolen chocolates, which, I don't know if gas station chocolate has those security tags on them, but okay. The man, who's their dad, spots them and starts chasing after them. Outside, they're cornered by another man in a car and their dad, but Asia pulls out a gun. She shoots their dad when he runs at them, and then the police arrive. However, Asia runs for it, leaving Maria behind to be taken into custody. And in that moment, she abandons her sister and condemns her to an awful life alone. 10 years later, Asia is now going by Isabel and takes a cleaning job at the Virgil, a high-rise building in New York City. It's giving the Cecil Hotel. She's welcomed by Lily Woodhouse, the building manager, who immediately asks her to hand over her phone because the guests require total privacy. Red flag number 1. She meets some of the residents, including Sharon, Dr. Sheepman, and his wife Anna. Lily then shows her to the first floor where all the employees live, and she meets a little boy named Damien, the son of one of them. Asia asks what everyone is celebrating, and Lily explains that one of the maids is being honored for her dedication. Apparently, everyone who comes here arrives with nothing, lost, and looking for a new beginning. Which sounds nice until you remember this is a horror movie. Asia also meets Ray, who's exiting her room. Lily tells him to stay away from the new arrivals, and it's obvious they have a pretty hostile relationship, but plot twist, he's actually her husband. Lily tells Asia to ignore anything unusual and leaves her alone, and if someone told me to ignore anything unusual in a creepy apartment building, I would immediately assume something unusual was about to happen. Asia starts unpacking and takes a shower. The steam from the bathroom mirror reveals a message saying they will kill you. They said the thing. Which must be a message that Ray left behind, but when she gets out of the shower, the message is unreadable. Great. For some reason, Asia immediately gets suspicious of the vent and looks inside. I'm pretty sure someone is in there. She hears laughing and leaves her room to investigate, and suddenly the lights shut off and a red-tinted light turns on, and someone is watching her from down the hallway, but she just misses them. Back in her room, Asia pushes a chair against her door for protection. Good job, Asia. Finally someone in a horror movie making smart decisions. She stares at the vent for a while before eventually falling asleep. Around 3 a.m., someone unlocks her door, but luckily the chair stops them from getting inside. We then get a POV of someone watching her through the vent, which I hate. He enters her room and he's a freak, licking her toes, and he's wearing a pig mask. She wakes up from his drool, but he's gone. Asia checks under her bed, and when she pops back up, he's standing behind her. He grabs her and tries to chloroform her, but Asia fights back and smashes him into the fridge, knocking him out. But another person enters through the vent, moves the fridge so another masked person comes out of a hole in the wall, and moves the chair so some others can also enter. Asia tries to escape, but begins passing out from the chloroform. The piggies remove their mask, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought those were their actual faces, and I'm very glad it's not. Very realistic masks. Turns out one of them is Sharon, and the other is Draco Malfoy himself, aka Kevin. And the other guys' names are Tall Steve, Short Steve, and Bob. Asia is still somewhat awake though, and she bites into a broken wire, electrocuting Sharon and waking herself back up. She hides in the closet while Bob, the first gross pig guy, wakes up. They open the closet door and Asia cuts Kevin's head off with a machete. No clue where she got that from. And I thought he'd be around a lot longer based on the promos. She then pulls out a shotgun and kills another cult member, and in this moment I was thinking this probably isn't actually happening, because where did she pull that shotgun out of? She continues fighting and kills the rest of them. In the hallway, she finishes off Bob and runs into Lily, who realizes Asia hasn't been honest about who she is. Considering the situation she's in, I don't think you've been very honest either, Lily. Asia then reveals what happened 10 years ago. She made the biggest mistake of her life running instead of protecting her sister. Their dad survived and Maria was sent back into his custody while Asia was arrested. During her time in jail, she learned how to fight, and I guess that kind of explains where she got these ninja moves. Years later, Asia hires a private investigator to find Maria. He discovers that she was last seen at the Virgil, a place where people have been mysteriously disappearing, especially minorities. One of his connections is starting there soon, so Asia steals her identity, Isabel, and takes the job to find her sister. Lily then tells her she has her own family to protect, who have unusual needs. And I was thinking we were going towards cannibalism. And then the dead cult members walk out of the room, putting themselves back together again. And apparently this is a supernatural horror, which I didn't see coming. A maid attacks Asia, but Asia machetes her and hides in a nearby room. Lily tells the maid to clean up the blood when she comes back, so I guess some maids get the immortality perk too. Inside the nearby room, Asia is stabbed in the back by the little boy Damien, who's pissed that she just killed his mom. But Asia immediately knocks him out. She's not playing around. She searches for an escape and finds a hatch in the floor. She climbs into some tunnels that lead to all these different rooms, and this is probably how they spy on their victims. After crawling around for a bit, she hears Lily yelling at the others, but accidentally makes a noise, and they find her inside the wall. She gets stabbed in the hand, but just slides her hand out and keeps running. Sharon chases after her in the tunnels, but she's not allowed to kill Asia just yet. Sharon catches up, but Asia kills her with a screwdriver, except Sharon gets back up. Asia then grabs a shotgun and blows Sharon's head off, and her body still gets up. But I had questions, because if your head is destroyed, how are you gonna regenerate it? But this will be answered soon. Sharon's body ends up running off. Maybe she didn't want to fight without her head. But with Kevin on her tail, Ray pulls Asia into the darkness, saving her. Ray explains that the building is an 100-year-old temple for Satan, but the founders go back way further. They discovered a way to communicate with the other side and made a deal, immortality in exchange for human sacrifices. However, every once in a while, certain people are allowed to climb the ladder and become part of the family, like Lily. But their names can be removed from the list if they betray the family, meaning they lose their immortality and are promptly killed. While Ray is explaining all this, Sharon's eyeball is following them through the vents, which got me wondering if that hurts to have her severed eyeball rolling around in the dirt. Ray tells Asia that the cult members are impossible to kill. As long as a piece of them remains, the rest of their body can grow back. So my previous question answered. Asia and Ray eventually find a room where Maria is being held. Asia explains to her the cult and the sacrifices, but Maria already knows. We then get Maria's backstory. After leaving home, she ended up working a cleaning job for a creepy man named Richie who wanted her to prove she was grateful to him. I guess she quits and then finds a help wanted ad for Virgil. She wakes up surrounded by cult members, and Lily tells her that one of the maids was caught stealing, so she gets to take her place. They just met this girl, they don't even know her. I figured the maid would have to, work up to it, but guess not. Back in the present, Maria tells Asia that this is her home now and she isn't leaving. She needed Asia when she was a kid, but she doesn't now. They argue, and Asia knocks Maria out, saying she's taking her whether she likes it or not. Ray tells Asia that the building is basically a death trap, but there's a fire escape on the roof through the 9th floor. Then Sharon's eyeball falls onto the bed, revealing she's been listening the whole time. Asia squishes it, gross, but the cult members now know exactly where she is and where she's going. They hunt her down while she escapes through a dumbwaiter with Maria, but unfortunately Ray gets caught. Asia exits into the kitchen where Bob finds her, though when he attacks Asia, Maria kills him, finally choosing whose side she's on. Back to Ray being held captive, we see some photos of him and Lily from 1913 at the Virgil. Lily questions Ray, and he admits that back then he could convince himself they were getting rid of bad people, but now they're just killing innocent people. Lily says that back then the world was against them and this family was the only thing that accepted them, but Ray says it's a prison. Lily then makes an announcement to the entire building and everyone starts hunting for Asia. Meanwhile, Maria ties Bob up and tells Asia she can't watch her die, so she leaves to go distract the cult members, but immediately she's grabbed and Asia is attacked. Asia locks back in and wraps an alcohol-soaked rag around her axe and lights it on fire, and this scene is insane. She takes out dozens of them. The only problem is that they're gonna keep getting back up. Eventually, she kills the final one and escapes with Maria as they start waking up again. Asia and Maria take a moment to talk in the elevator shaft. Asia says she learned to fight in prison, and Maria reveals their dad died from cancer 2 years ago. And Asia admits to her that she's always regretted abandoning her. The cult continues searching and finds them in the shaft, and as Asia and Maria climb, Bob chases after them. Another cult member opens the elevator doors and grabs at Asia, but Asia pulls him into the shaft, sending him falling to his death. And at this point, I think Asia has killed more people in one night than most horror movie protagonists do in their entire lives. Asia and Maria climb onto the open floor, only to find the entire cult waiting for them. They probably should have kept climbing. Asia threatens to jump if Lily doesn't let Maria go, but Lily reveals the truth. The night Maria came in, Lily told her that after she signs the contract, she has to kill her sacrifice. But if she breaks her promise, runs away, or fails to bring an offering, she dies. Maria explains that there was no way out, so she invited Isabel there from her old cleaning job. She was supposed to be her sacrifice, but Asia showed up instead. The cult members grab at Asia and she falls into the elevator shaft, but Bob catches her and pulls her back up. They bring Asia to an altar with a big pig head. Lily feeds the pig Asia's blood, and the devil appears, possessing the pig. Ray and Maria are revealed as traitors. The devil removes Ray's name from his head, which is the contract, and tells Lily to kill him or die. Lily doesn't want to, but Ray tells her he already made his choice, so she kills him. I thought she was going to have some redeeming final moment, but nope. Maria apologizes to the devil and asks for another chance. The devil tells her to write her name and kill her sister. We don't see what she writes, so it's clear to me what's about to happen. Maria tells Asia she wishes they had more time together, and then she kills herself, revealing she wrote Asia's name instead. Asia has a final moment with her sister, who tells her to go get him. Asia then cuts the pig skin with her name off, keeping it safe in her pocket while the cult attacks her. And what's funny is that she didn't even need to be immortal to beat them, because she kills them all so easily and she barely has a scratch on her. The devil takes control of Lily's body and starts fighting Asia. Devil Lily stabs Asia and then uses Maria's voice against her, saying she'd still be alive if Asia had just left her alone. But now, extra pissed, Asia rips the pig off of Lily's head and beats her with it. Definitely one of the stranger fight scenes I've seen. Asia tells the devil that she wants her sister back. He tells her a life for a life. So Asia sets the pig head on fire, which erases all the names from the list and kills the main cult members, who succumb to their injuries. She escapes with Maria's body while telling the remaining, now mortal cult members to clear out while the fire spreads. Sparing them was an interesting choice, though. Outside, the private investigator waits for Asia, who puts Maria in the car. Asia notices Maria has a bird tattoo just like hers, and we get the final twist. The piece of pigskin with the name on it now says Maria. Maria wakes up and Asia reveals she changed the name before the fight. So now I know why she was never seriously injured in the fight, because that would break the illusion. They drive away while the building explodes behind them. And that's They Will Kill You. But they didn't kill her. I went into this movie almost completely blind. All I knew was that a girl takes a cleaning job and ends up being hunted by some kind of cult. I saw some promo pictures with Tom Felton, and that's about it. So imagine my surprise when Asia suddenly starts decapitating people with machetes and pulling out shotguns, like she's been training with John Wick for the last decade. When she started wiping out half the cult in her room, I really thought it was just a fantasy sequence. But then the movie reveals she's been training for years to find and rescue her sister, and it made a little bit more sense. The biggest surprise for me, though, was the immortality twist. I had no idea this was going to be supernatural. I thought it was just going to be a creepy cult movie. Now, it's not entirely realistic that Asia could fight her way through dozens of immortal cult members by herself, ending up with barely a scratch. But this is one of those movies where you just kind of have to accept the campiness. It's like Pretty Lethal, where the fun comes from just watching the chaos unfold. If you spend too much time questioning the logic, you're probably gonna have a bad time. And the movie ending with Maria becoming immortal. I figured she'd come back to life because of Asia's life for a life deal, but now I have questions about what happens next. Maria's got her name on the list, but do the immortals need to keep making sacrifices, or is it one and done? Can she erase her name without any consequences? Maybe there'll be a sequel. Comment below what you thought of this movie, like and subscribe for recaps, deep dives, and more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.